Romeo, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. This is cool.
Yeah, this is interesting. I've watched you grow up, man. I've known you a long time, and now we're getting sit here and talk about like what you're doing, your future, and what you're aiming for, and just what the heck's going on. I'm stoked about this one. This is a fun episode.
Awesome. No, I'm excited to share a bit about myself and some of my goals and surfing and stuff because it's really changed too over the years. And I think growing up here has given me this like amazing platform and amazing waves to just like succeed and great people and vibes.
All
So
right.
it's sick.
So it sounds like you're happy that this was where you spent your childhood.
Definitely. I wouldn't wish it any other way. And Nosara is just like, and especially too, when I was growing up here, it was a bit more chilled out to what it is now. And I'm happy that I got that like a bit more raw Nosara experience than maybe kids growing up now would get here. So, yeah.
Well, let's dive into that later, but let's start right now. What are you doing these days? What's your immediate goals over just, what are you aiming for over the next couple of years? Like, get us up to speed with you today, and then we'll go back to your past.
Yeah, so right now I'm pretty into competitive surfing, and it started around 2 years ago. Before I was just free surfing and surfing with my mom, having fun, and I went to a contest in Playa Hermosa, and it went really well. The waves were super big, and I was just trying my best, throwing big airs, but I kind of made a good impression. And from there, I started talking with like the Costa Rican Federation, and it ended up to me training super hard over those next few months, and I got selected to represent Costa Rica in the ISA World Juniors.
How was that feeling for you when you found out?
It was amazing. And I was so underprepared too, and I still didn't have the best boards, and I even got robbed like 2 weeks before the event, all my boards stolen. But I was just grateful to be there, and I did the best that I could on what I had, and that kind of just ignited something in me. I found a new love for surfing, and from then I've just been training like every day, nonstop surfing, and I got selected again last year to compete in Brazil, and that went really good. I got 20th in the world in U18, so the division that was like surfing up for me, and
That's a strong statement, man.
yeah, and now I'm going in a week to the Caribbean to try to re-qualify to represent Costa Rica again in the surfing games in U18 in El Salvador. It's coming up in May.
What does that mean if you connect on that?
Before they had the surfing in the Olympics, they had the ISA World Games, and they've had them forever. And it's just a great platform where all these kids from different countries have the opportunity to like represent their flag and try to go for a gold medal. And it's just like, it would mean the world to me to get that. And it's something that I really strive for. And it's kind of just like the beginning into like getting into Olympic qualification, getting these amazing connections, and like a lot of guys on tour right now have been ISA medalists and stuff like that. So it's just the building blocks and kind of a start into something that could be greater later on.
What would help you achieve your goals?
Well, sponsors have been a bit difficult for me just because of the social media aspect, and now a lot of people are kind of looking at who has the most followers, not who's the like best surfer, who needs it the most.
Do you like that or dislike that? Where are you at on it? Because you're popular online and you're growing, and you know what I mean? So you kind of, to me, it kind of feels like you have the best of both worlds going.
Yeah, it's starting off good, but what's up? It's starting off good.
So you have fans. All Fanco Greg's rocking by screaming.
No, it's starting off good. Like, the social media part is tricky because before, like, I just wanted to surf. I didn't really care about like what I looked to like on other people on social media. But now it's kind of a part of my life, and it's cool that I get the platform to like put myself out there. But it's tricky at the same time. So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. But right now, like, yeah, my main sponsor is my mom, and then I have a t-shirt company, Nosara Underground, and I've been trying to get that back up and running so I can just support myself. And I'm starting a jewelry brand, like doing chains and stuff, called Romeo Stone Designs. And
love it.
Yeah, no, if I wasn't just gonna wait around for someone to pick me up, I wanted to I want to do this, and if I'm gonna do this, I need to take action towards it. And but yeah, that's the main thing, is kind of like the money the money part is tricky just because going to all these competitions and traveling and getting boards and leashes and fins is expensive.
Well,
So
hey, much respect for you taking the initiative to get that. I mean, I get chills when you talk about that. I love initiative, especially
Yeah.
around here. Like, I love it. And I was yesterday on the podcast, that pro surfer, Tony, the longboarder, number 5 in the world, he was sharing it.
yeah,
He does so many lessons and has his own business back home to fund, and that lets him pull it off. But the people who are just going to make it off of sponsorships in today's world, that's very challenging.
it's so challenging. Surfing's changed so much, and it's not like there used to be those core brands, Billabong, Quicksilver, um, Volcom, and now a lot of those are bought up by bigger corporations, and they're dropping a lot of people, and they're not paying how they used to. So one person that's really inspiring me is like John Florence, how he's got Via Supplies and Florence Marinex, and he's kind of turning like his big reach and his big platform into something positive and making like a brand out of that and doing quality materials and stuff like that. So that's inspiring to me that he's now, obviously he's made a bunch of money off sponsors and tour before, but he's kind of supporting and sponsoring events and kids with his brands.
That's a good model.
Yeah, that I could hopefully do in the future.
Yeah, the blogs that are working, it's weird. Like, look at Ben Gravy, look at Koa Smith, look at all of them. You have people who aren't pro, who never won the contest, but are getting a following. And then the episodes, it's not like heavy hitting surf quick clips. The surf footage though is that.
Yeah.
Like, surf footage is short, quick, fast. As soon as someone caught an amazing wave, it's online like that. So the days when I was coming up, it was Surf Magazine, the Surf Movie. You had to wait for it, build it up. Now the content's out. The new form of content is like the blogging stuff. It's the journey to the surf, setting up the day. And I never knew that would catch.
Yeah.
And like, it's all, the whole surf world's kind of backwards from just 20, 30 years ago. But on that note, let's go back to your social media. I have really enjoyed over the past year, because you're kind of on a rocket ship. You've been posting your results and more details. And I really enjoy that. Like in my day, it's like, oh yeah, a bummer. Like,
yeah.
I enjoy seeing the journey. So are people starting to catch, like, are people seeing what you're up to and paying attention to the details, or is it just in general?
I'd say definitely. Whenever I lose or win, I always like put a story or a post and write paragraphs, kind of how I was feeling, how I went through it. And if you read it or you don't, it's just a cool way for me to like express myself and kind of just tell everyone what's going on. Because I know a lot of people don't understand surfing too. But that was in Brazil. It was a crazy competition, and the waves weren't that good, and it was just like every single day, heats. You've got all this commotion in Brazil, and like the team dynamic, you're all staying in the same house together, and sometimes people don't get along, and it's crazy just to like focus up on that. So it's cool to like sit down after the day and kind of write a bit about it and post it to inform everybody.
Well, I want to encourage you to keep going with that.
Yeah.
I think it might work, because your life here is incredibly interesting to so many people. So I would encourage you to get the camera to follow you around more. I saw Sam did a YouTube channel, which I think is great. I think you should do that.
Yeah, I started one with my friend Quinn.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, he had this thing when he was little, and he would just do GoPro videos, and he called it A-Frame Vlogs. And we started getting back into that, and I've been wanting to make a surf movie, a little bit, still trying to find the message, but it's calling it Mango Season, and kind of just highlighting either like kind of what is happiness, and like how growing up here, like there's a lot of people here that don't have anything, but they're still very happy, and a lot of people are coming down here and trying to find that, and it's just like an interesting thing, and just showing kind of like how all I really need is my surfboard, a car, and some tasty waves, and I'm just like happy and set. Just like staying off of phones and staying out of alcohol and drugs, and just trying to set like a positive message through surfing, because a lot of surf movies are just like guys ripping, and there's not really a message. It's just like fun, cool surfing. So I'm gonna try to make something different about that.
I'm thrilled to hear you say all of this, man. I'll be eagerly awaiting and be a fan.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Let's jump into living in Nosara, because the town it's completely changed in some ways, but it's completely the same in others. Well, actually, when you were growing up, we didn't have these trees here. So shout out to
Yeah.
Costas Verdes and Gerardo and everyone who's ever donated to help make it happen. So that's like, for example, that's a nice change. But also right behind these trees are houses that are very expensive and not accessible to a lot of people. So I'm interested in your opinion, having grown up, seeing it all.
Yeah, it's interesting. In my opinion, definitely has changed over the years, because as a town we've developed so much. But no, speaking about the trees, I remember doing like day trips with the school, and like we'd all plant trees all day, and we'd all try to see who could plant the most trees. And it's so amazing to see like what such hard work that our whole town has done to like do this, and it's beautiful to see this amazing like greenery by the beach.
We're sitting here in the middle of the day.
I know, it's awesome. We're at shade. It's sweet. It's yeah, everything with change has positive and negative outcomes. It is sad to see a lot of people coming down here and kind of taking advantage of the freedom that this town gives you. And I know some people spend a lot of money on their property and want to do the most, but I mean, those trees and the animals that have been there way before they came. And it's kind of sad to see people clear cutting, and I hope that people can kind of see that and maybe try to build around it, or like involve more nature into their builds, because it's just sad to see like a town that was so green and beautiful just be clear cut, and like I barely see monkeys or iguanas anymore unless you're deep in the jungle and stuff like that. So it's kind of they've made a new home for a lot of people, but they've taken away the home for a lot of the nature, and it's kind of depressing to see that. It's not fun.
So where did you get this insight and this knowledge? Because most kids your age aren't thinking in these terms.
I think I've got it from just growing up here and seeing it firsthand, and kind of like remembering going down and always catching iguanas and just like playing with my friends, and there'd be monkeys everywhere in the trees, and then over the years just kind of seeing like less and less and less, and now it's like it's almost rare, and I don't want it to keep going down that path.
So how do we solve it?
I think building more consciously, doing stuff like this where we're planning, spreading awareness to people, and just things like that, and having everyone do their own part, I think can make a significant difference. You're not going to be able to bring it back to what it used to, but you can slow down and stop to where it gets to somewhere like Tamarindo, where it's just all clear cut.
Those are really good points. I'm inside the machine, like with my day job.
Yeah.
And I know that it's a tough subject, but I do think there is a solution. I think the solution is, if you're gonna come to Nosara, get involved.
That's such a good point. I see so many people that have so much wealth and could do so much, and some people do. Some people are so helpful for the local community, but maybe some people don't know how to involve themselves. But if you're gonna come down and make a multi-million-dollar house, I know you can give some to local community, whether it be clothes, food, getting them more involved in like working and stuff like that, and just a little bit could go such a long way. And if all these people that have such big wealth and such a big platform to like do these things all pitched in, I think we'd have such a good like imbalanced community where everyone's helping, and we don't have this like sort of it's not hatred, but this like not like a rivalry, but a lot of local people are kind of getting annoyed, and then it's just this like back and forth, and we all need to like unite and do something positive about that.
I think the language barrier is an issue.
It's a big thing too.
I think the location barrier is an issue, because where most of the tourists and expats come, it's not even Nosara.
Yeah.
They're coming over to the project. I think there's some mean people out there who are just in their own interest. I'm not denying that. But really, I think most of the people coming to Nosara,
they're good.
They mean well.
They mean well.
They have good intentions. They're coming here to be happier. What's new is the people here today have money.
Yeah.
That didn't necessarily, wasn't the case so much.
No, definitely. Everyone was just kind of chilling and just
But a lot of
going
those
for the
same people from back in the day are the ones that donated the time and the money the most. And now as Nosara is growing, a lot of people come to town, start a new cause. They don't realize that we have 50-something causes.
Yeah.
Most of the donations are the same people. Like, we don't have more money.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's the solution is the new people. So now, like, when I'm doing a surf report, I actually do not feel guilty for doing a surf report. Now they're already here.
Yeah. You can't
Google's
really
out,
do
the internet's there. There is not a secret. It's not like somebody doesn't know about the waves or see it. There's companies promoting stuff like crazy. Social media is wild. So I'm done with the getting mad about it. Now it's time to, like, maybe we're mad about yesterday, but we got to worry about tomorrow.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is when you come down, and this is kind of my big thought on the lineup, it's already crowded, it's been crowded, it's going to stay crowded. Surfing's not getting less popular. That's happening. How do we keep the vibe what it is? Because that's what's so special about this place. It feels good to go out there. You don't generally go out there and be like, hey man, I'm from here, beat it, or just go in front of anyone. Like that attitude is how you sing places. Look at Playa Negra, look at Junquillo, look at Marbella on a grumpy day, look at Hermosa. Like, those are all wonderful places that have a much thicker vibe. And then you paddle out here and people are so kind. So I'm really concerned about that. Can you share your insight?
Well, before there wasn't as many people surfing here, and I think we generated that vibe from that, but there were so many waves and everyone was sharing. And now I try not to even surf, to be honest, because I'm scared of getting hit in the head with the surfboard. And I think it's not super aggro because a lot of people out there don't really know what they're doing and don't understand like fighting, and everyone's kind of just dropping in on everyone. And I know a lot of people that have been here for a while are starting to get that like edgy feeling. Like, even myself, like, I'll go out there and be back paddled by some person that's on some foamy, and I'll be like, dude, I've lived here my whole life, like, you don't do that to me. So it's, maybe we don't have to like put this whole sense of like authority out there, but I just want people to like understand the rules about surfing. Like, you wait your turn, someone's coming on the wave like this and the whitewater's here, don't go like this to get in their way. Go
Hey,
around.
clarify that point. That's a really good one. Talk it through so someone can learn this.
So if you've got a wave and it's peeling and the whitewater's over here and someone's riding down the line, if you would come in like this to try to get over it and not get hit by the whitewater, you get in their way, and that could be dangerous. So it's better to just get smoked by the whitewater, paddle around, and not risk getting run over or dinging your board or dinging yourself.
Just give the right away, take the hit, swim under it if you have to.
Yeah, that's important. And then another thing too is like dropping in. It's, unless you're like all friends and you're having a party wave, try not to drop in on people because it's disrespectful and it's dangerous. Like, people are there's so many people getting sent to the doctors with cuts every single day. And I've been close to it too, and that would suck for someone to get seriously hurt. So it's just like, be mindful. If you don't know what you're doing, maybe get a soft top. I think they should have a rule. Soft tops. Everyone should be soft top.
I think so.
They're fun too. Dude. Like, don't get a hardboard, get a soft top. Soft tops are cool. And
hey, Romeo said it.
Soft tops are cool. It's set.
That should be one of your shirts or jewelry pieces. That's not a bad idea.
No, it's not. Look, that lady's over there. She's on a soft top.
Yep.
She knows the rules.
I feel safer with her around.
Yeah.
So.
If everyone was on a soft top, it would just be way safer. Like, these big, thick, heavy boards are what's dangerous.
Hey, I recorded with Christoph recently, and what he said was, we need to segment the beach like they do in Europe, I guess where he's from. He said they have like a learning section, a swimming section, and then like the expert section, and the main peaks have the good people. He thinks that's the solution for here. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think that's gonna happen because there's like, it's just too many people coming down that like wouldn't know that. They'd be paddling out at the expert section or the swimming section and then getting in trouble for it. I don't think that's the solution. I just think it's like, maybe people that are teaching surf lessons really teaching like the rules of the beach, or putting up signs that explain like how priority works. Maybe just some like general rules, and like maybe put a big sign and be like, don't drop in on people, respect local, like, no, if it's too big, don't go out, watch out for rip currents. Just a lot of things that let people know like what not to do, so they're safer and that everyone's having more fun in the
We
lineup.
put soft tops are cool at the
Soft
top.
tops are cool.
Soft tops rock.
Yeah.
Use the soft top. Hey, I got an idea. We can give waves. If somebody's on a soft top,
If
there's
you're
a
on
one
soft
wave
top,
credit.
you can have the set. I'm not even gonna go for it.
Hey, we're solving some big issues here,
Yeah.
Romeo. Talk about the other side of drop-in.
Yeah, so surfing, obviously it's a big thing about patience. And if I'm sitting out there, you're sitting out there. My mom the other day was sitting out there and she's waiting for the set. And someone's coming from far, far away, paddles around her when she's been waiting all this time, and then goes deep and then starts yelling at her. That happened the other day and I went off on some guy because I was like, that's not cool. You don't do that to my mom. But it's just in general, it hurt. It sucks. It's like, I've been waiting there that whole time and there's so many waves in the ocean. Why are you coming around me and trying to take something that I've been waiting for and then getting mad at me about it? So it's a not the best feeling.
I think it's one of the worst.
It's the worst feeling. Or when someone like goes to drop it on you and they foam ball it and ruin the whole wave. It's not a good feeling, but we can surf every day. There's plenty of waves out here, so there's no reason to fight about it. But
a lot of wisdom coming.
yeah,
from
there's
your
no
mouth.
reason to fight about it. But no, I definitely at times have yelled at people and gotten like,
I was,
oh, look at that.
Everyone was doing a flyaway here. I was watching it.
That's sweet. Yeah, definitely like I'm not aggressive towards people and I'm not gonna try to fight anyone, but I'll tell you like I'm not scared of confrontation and I'll tell you like I'll put you in your place if you do something like that.
That's a great segue. So I give massive credit to the locals from here in helping keep the vibe good.
Yeah.
Even when you were very, very young, even back, I give Nelson a lot of credit on the podcast. I've seen him go to people who were getting into an argument. One guy from San Jose, somewhere else, and he went to me. He's like, "Hey, this is Guiones. Like, don't do this here. Like,
Yeah.
you guys go over there if you need to fight. Just don't do this here." And I tell you, man, like, that meant the world to me. Like, to see people go over to others and bring it down without turning into the scream. But I'm from Florida. When I go back and visit and try to surf,
Yeah. It's not
as soon as there's waves, people are really snippy and very unpleasant. I miss this place so much, and I'm terrified we'll lose that vibe. I was debating Pat, who we all love and respect.
I love that. He's awesome.
But I also disagree with Pat on several things. His take is, don't promote it anymore, it's gone. And the vibe's gonna be gone forever. He's really mad. And he has every reason to be.
Yeah.
I agree with Pat if it was 2006, 2009. Now the people are already here. Now that they're here, we just gotta do the best that we can.
Exactly. You're not gonna stop it. So
We-
help it grow in a conscious way.
Yes, so I think a lot of it is on you and your generation. Because there's even younger kids than you now coming up who are
Yeah.
from here. It's like, wait, what the heck? We don't want to get in a Hawaii-esque situation where the
No, not at
resentment
all.
gets so crazy.
Not at all.
This is a soft wave. We have well-heeled people here. And then also those well-heeled people coming in that can do these houses, we need their money, man. They're the solution. I'm telling you and your generation, please know, if a town catches and it's already happening, yelling about it does not help. Vibing those people when they get here, oh, that didn't help. That closed them up. And then they don't donate. They don't support kids like you who are out there trying to do something. And the other kids, we need, really, I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. We need those people to get involved.
That's
So I think
true.
it should be like, you're here? Okay, about that sign you said, soft tops are cool.
So, yeah.
Don't drop it.
Funny stuff like that.
Follow these rules and get involved. Whether
Yeah.
if you don't have money to donate, that's fine, donate time.
Yeah.
People
no,
need help. So anyway,
not-
that's my rant on that subject.
I really agree with that. And yeah, you don't need everything to donate. You don't need everything. I've given away I have boards or skateboards or clothes or time, like just giving a surf lesson to some kid, or just like even talking is like something. It's like anything that you can do helps. And if you do have a lot of abundance and you're able to do as much as you can.
Well, that's how we save it.
Yeah.
That's how we save it.
That's how we save it.
The one interesting thing is like where we're sitting, this was all cattle field,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they came through and cleared everything. And now it's proof we can bring the trees back. I'm not saying that doesn't take away from the bad we're doing. I'm saying if the bad is happening though, we got to do as much good as we can.
For sure. Another thing too about that is the septic problem we've been having. That's a big thing that I would hate for our ocean to turn into something really gross.
Have you
like,
seen the new campaign that's come out, the No Shit Nosara campaign?
Yeah, that was cool. So anything, yeah, too, if you have a lot of abundance and you're making this multi-million-dollar house, you can definitely put the extra money into a proper septic system where you've got a good gray water system and it's not going to be getting flushed into the ocean, because that's a big thing, because without the ocean, we don't really have that much.
Dude, let's give a shout out to the WCA for doing the water test.
For sure.
And let's give a shout out to Dr. Edgeworth, the guy, he's been on the podcast several times. He's on a real campaign. Now, he is one of the people you're talking about who has a multi-million-dollar house, but he is stepping up.
That's awesome.
And he's trying to get other people. He feels it's unethical if people are going to have a rental house here in particular to not upgrade your septic system if you're going to put bodies through. Like he really means it.
Yeah, shout out to him. That's super cool. Like everyone should be getting on that, because if it's dangerous too. And like I've had cuts and stuff and gone in the water, and it used to be like fine, like you weren't gonna get super infected, and now the bacteria is just it's ramping up and it could get really bad. So that's a big thing.
Let's talk about crocodiles or alligators for a second, because Tamarindo has the river out there. They fed them for years, and then stuff started happening. That's terrifying.
That's gnarly. Yeah, don't ever feed crocodiles or wildlife, because they associate humans with food, and it can be very bad. Don't mess with wildlife if you do not know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's an unpleasant subject. Let's find some other happier stuff. So what else is good going on?
Life is good. School's good. My mom, she's doing a lot better. She had a lot of medical stuff over the past few years, and she's finally like getting up and surfing again.
She started surfing.
She's ripping. Yeah, she's back on it. So it's super. I'm very happy to see that, to see her happy again, and not like just surgery after surgery after surgery. So it's cool. And she's like trying to get her shop up to what it used to be. So if you see this, you need to go buy some jewelry for your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever.
Tell everybody the name of it, where it is.
Gemstones. It's by the apothecary, by Surfing Nosara. It's a jewelry store. Pretty much all the proceeds go to helping me out and getting my surf career going. So go check out Gemstones. That's awesome. It's been around for 20 years.
It's never not been there.
No, it's been there for so long. It's like one of the OG shops.
The future for you. So upcoming tournaments.
Yeah, I've got a training camp next week in the Caribbean in Puerto Viejo to get reselected for the ISA. They like to do the reselection every year to give everyone a chance and not just take the same kids. I've been training super hard, and I'm going to try my best to get selected again, and I'm going to do it.
Well, I wish you luck, man. Anything
you.
I've seen you do, you've went well. I've seen you be a runner. I've seen you in jiu-jitsu. I've seen you in surfing. Everything.
Yeah.
Even if you softly walk into it,
I give it my all. That's one thing I'm super like proud about myself, is like anything I do, I'm gonna give it everything I have. And another thing with the surfing that I wanted to just put out there, so we have this platform, is a lot of the kids in Costa Rican surfing don't have much and don't have significant funds to be able to do these contests. And this ISA in El Salvador is coming up, and sadly the Costa Rican government isn't going to be able to fund it this year. So a lot of us are going to have to do our own fundraising. So definitely in the next like few months, like up until May, I'm going to be putting some stuff out there. And if you want to like support me and help me get there, my mom's shop, and I'll definitely put more stuff on my social media about it. But there's some young kids that are so talented and want it so bad, but just don't have the resources to get there.
Hey, can you rifle out a couple up-and-comers that people can keep their eye out, and we can get boards and some funding and try to support their dreams too?
Yeah, so like some super groms. There's this girl, Miquela Castro. Her older brother is Axel Castro. He's a great friend of mine. She's 9 years old, and she went to Brazil with us. She's got second in U16 in the national ranking. She's an amazing surfer, super fun. There's so many little groms. There's these siblings, Koa and Kalena Bryant. They're from the Caribbean as well. They're amazing surfers. This kid, Ian Eduardo. There's so many of them. I can't like even put all. This kid Ahmed Garay, Eduardo Rugama. He's an incredible surfer, and they're just like, and all their friends, all those kids, they're super good. And like even my age, like Ethan Hollander, Tommy Patenay, Simon. Like there's so many kids that are great friends of mine. That Rick,
So
Nadav
Costa Rica is on the way
too.
up, is what I'm hearing.
For sure, yeah. There's older guys too, but right now a lot of my motivation is like just inspiring this younger generation of like all the super grounds. Like I know that if I put a good example about working hard, not doing drugs, not partying, like getting good grades and stuff like that, I know that those kids will catch on, and then we're gonna have a whole sweep, and Costa Rica's gonna be on top, hopefully.
And hey, well, congrats on getting to where you have as quickly as you have.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm not surprised at all. Let's wind up with some lighter subject stuff real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to recount a story that actually happened right here. There was a foot race. I can't remember how old you were. It was young. When Charlie tripped you.
I was like 9.
It was maybe 7 or 9.
No, I think I was like 7. I was younger.
It would have been like 2009.
I always loved running, and I'd say I was pretty fast. And
you were fast. You were like double fast. I watched you like win a race one time so bad that you like stopped and hung out. Well, anyway, the story that I remember, I'm sure you remember too, is
it was super fun.
You were winning that race, pulling ahead of everyone, and then Charlie tripped you. You ate it, and then you got up and still won the race.
Yeah, that was super funny. My dog Charlie, she passed away last year, sadly.
Sorry about that.
She was 13.
But what a run.
No, she was the best dog, but when she was a puppy, she wasn't the best dog, and kids would be running on the beach, and she'd go and tackle them, and there was this big race every year, Stop the Shocks, to help with the monkeys and stuff like that, and it was always super fun, and they'd have like a kids division. I think it was like under 14s, and I still would win that like super young. It was super cool, and I was going and I was running super fast, and I was almost like at the finish line, and Charlie came and started racing me and just took me out, and I like ate the sand. I still got up, and I don't remember whether I won it or I think I did.
Maybe so. You came close, but
I think she tripped me out. A kid got in front of me, and then I like crawled over. That's what happened.
Something. Yeah. I've got it on video deep somewhere.
Funny.
Maybe I can find it.
No, that was hilarious.
That was awesome. I never forgot that. But then, but it was kind of the same thing. It's the same thing with jiu-jitsu. Like you went hard, and then surfing. It wasn't even that long ago, man. Maybe 2-3 years ago.
Oh, that's when I started to just like.
It clicked.
Off. Yeah, it clicked.
Your turns, like you went from just surfing.
Cutbacks to air versus.
Or even just commitment of verticalness and then trying to land it.
Yeah.
Unless a lot of us will go up and do a flyaway. Everyone can do that. Heck, that's most of the lineup, right? But then you were like, no, I'm going to try to land this.
Yeah, for sure.
And I call you like, what's the nickname I call you? It's like Little Laird something. Even when you were little, you reminded me of like a young Laird Hamilton.
Yeah,
like,
I just like to send it. It's super fun. And
now you just got to not hurt your ankle or your knee.
Yeah, no, that was gnarly too. I never had any injuries my whole life. And when I was 13, I like kind of threw my back out a little bit. And because of that weird like, kind of like hinge, it like put my hips off. And then every time I'd land, my knee would get like messed up. And it ended up like, I got really bad tendonitis, and I got filled with a bunch of fluid, and that kind of turned into like my ankle, I tore a ligament, and it was just a bunch of things back to back to back. But every single time I would just like still focus on like, if I couldn't use my legs, I'm gonna work out my upper body. If I couldn't use my shoulder, I'm gonna work out my lower body. And I never gave up, and it made me stronger, and it made me want it even more.
You sound like Laird Hamilton.
So
That's his story too.
Like my mom, when she went through like cancer and all that stuff, she would meditate every single day. And 2 years of not surfing, she went back in the water and she surfed better than she did before. And it was like crazy to see, like someone could just like envision and meditate and think about and visualize doing the things that they want to do, and when they get back, they're better at it.
It's huge.
It's wild.
What an
So
example for
like,
you to see.
It was a super big inspiration for me, and now that I know, like, anytime I go down, I'm gonna come back 10 times better.
Man, you
That's cool. But no, surfing's really gone up for me. And I'm happy I started competing when I did, because I already had that like mental maturity of being, I'm 16 now, but being like 14 when I started. I had that mental maturity of losing, being like, not gonna cry about it, I'm just gonna learn from it. Where if I was 8 or 10, I don't think I would have had that. Probably would have just like cried and hit my board or something.
Yeah, you're right. Your timing was good on that. I think your martial arts experience helped too, because
Yeah, I want to
You
get
lo-
back into that too. I just was like COVID and getting injured, and I'm so into surfing right now. I don't have much time for
just
it. but
don't.
I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, man. I'm all. You already know I'm a big proponent of martial arts, but not. Don't mess up your contests, your tournaments. I think you're
No,
about to
it's
hit
not
your
worth it.
stride.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh hey, what's your 3 favorite restaurants around here?
I'm a big cook and I love to eat at home. But when I'm not, Rosie's, 10 out of 10, awesome. I love Almendros in Esperanza.
What do you like to get there?
I get chicken wings and chicken quesadillas, and they're just like delicious. It's just like whenever I just want to like sit down, have some wings and quesadillas, I'll go there. It's awesome, or some friends. And I think El Local is such a good restaurant. Like I love what Henry and Spatial have done with the place, and it's rad. Big shout out to them. And Spatial is like, her chocolates that she makes are the best in the world.
You got to be careful with those, man.
Oh man, oh, it's hard not to eat the whole pack.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
Like,
the
it's
best chocolates ever, hands down. But
oh,
she's the best. Like every time or this last contest here that I ended up winning, she came down like midday, brought me a whole thing of electrolytes, fruits. Like she's the best. Every contest she'll bring me like some goodies. It's awesome.
it's her heart's gonna melt when she hears you say this.
Yeah, she's the best. I always tell her I love her. She's awesome. Or
Gosh.
whenever my mom's been like away too, I had like an abscess on my leg from the like getting an infection, and she would like pick me up to bring me to the doctor and then bring me some chocolates, and I was just like, oh,
She's
felt
smart
so
with
loved.
holistic stuff too.
She's super smart.
You got a lot of good people in your life, man.
That's something great. I always feel like such big support from like friends and family. Like shout out to just everybody that's been a part of my life, because anytime I'm down or anytime I've needed help with something, like I always have this great community that has my back. So it feels super good to have that, and like also gives me more motivation to like do better, because I'm kind of representing like
And to do it for others.
Yeah, it's super cool.
God, that's fantastic that you feel that way, because it's
Yeah.
happening. Your future's bright, man. A lot of us are rooting for you.
Thank you.
Before we end this, do you have any jokes or ideas or any specific messages you want to get out there?
I think just everything we've gone over, like be mindful, respect local people, respect the land around you, respect the trees, the animals, ride soft tops.
That was going to be the title of this episode.
Ride soft
Soft tops are cool.
Have fun and try to involve yourself with the local community, learning the language, giving back, fundraising with whatever you can. I think that's a big thing. And I'm super grateful that I was able to talk to you about this and with all my goals. Another goal that I forgot to mention, I want to try to get to the Olympics in 2028 for surfing. That's a huge goal of mine. So the next 4 years, I'm just going to be working really, really, really hard to achieve that. And I'm on the right path.
I think you are, man.
Yeah,
Just keep. I get chills, man. I love ambition. I love ambition.
Nosara is a great place. And please don't ruin it.
So get involved.
Get involved.
Please don't ruin it.
Respect the nature. Respect the locals. Shop local.
Ride soft tops.
Ride soft tops.
It's
And
a pretty good message you got going
have
on,
fun,
man.
dude. I don't know. We have a great town. And also don't take advantage of the freedom that you get from being here. Like, there's not many police. People are drinking and driving. People are doing stuff like that. Don't do that. And please drive slow. That's something that's so important right now. Drive slow. It's so sad to see all these accidents that have been happening. Almost the daily, I'll see pisotes, iguanas, people, kids running across the street. And if you're following right behind a motorcycle or a quad in a big SUV and someone stops, you're going to seriously like hurt or end people's lives. And passing people on blind curves, not wearing your helmets, wear shoes at least if you're gonna be on a motorcycle. Like there's like it's just people taking advantage of the freedom. And it's now like all these people that are coming here, and a lot of people that have these really nice SUVs and are just dusting everybody and gunning it because they can. You don't really need to be there 5 minutes early.
It's a different
okay.
Nosara
it's a
today.
Different Nosara, and it sucks to see a lot of people like us losing people, and it's so depressing and so sad. And it's like every time it's such a small town. Every time somebody passes, it's the whole community feels it. So please drive slow. Like you don't need to get that fast anywhere.
Great message, man.
That's
a great message, Romeo.
Drive slow, wear your helmet, and be nice on the road. There's too many people driving around that going like crazy.
All right, so we'll have you back, let's say beginning of this high season for your update.
Let's do it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like let's check in seasonally, because you made some goals, you set them publicly.
Yeah.
Now you're manifesting, you're making it happen, right?
This summer I've got a big trip coming up, and then I think in August I'm gonna go with a friend to New York and work. Just kind of get some work done up there, and then I think I want to stay like in the East Coast in like hurricane season, just try to get some barrels while it's still raining here. And then November I'll have some big contests, so like we should touch back in.
Let's do post that.
Yeah,
so,
post that like December, January, like or like starting of the new year. Let's
dude, it's gonna be cool from here.
Yeah.
All the way to the Olympics. Just it could be a story. Like we can go back and watch it the next year.
Yeah, it'll be super cool. And yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram. It's just Romeo Stone _. Follow Rich. This podcast is super cool. And I'm always competing and putting all my stuff on my social media. So yeah, shout out to everyone that's been a big part of my life, and my mom and this town. It's so great. And thank you, Rich, so much for having me. This is super cool.
We're all rooting for you, buddy.
Thank you.
And I
really appreciate it.
Never lose sight that you're an example for those kids coming up. They're watching you.
Yeah, it's a big thing for me. I love inspiring.
Good luck next week.
Thank you.